Alright, so good day guys and welcome back to the Formula Sports channel, and as always thanks for being here, and as always the support is very much appreciated. You guys see the banner at the end of your screen. Craig Butler's URSL Vise deal was bound to fail from the get-go, right? That is what we'll be talking about in this video. For those of you who are not up to speed with what is taking place, Craig Butler last year invested in a Belgian third-tier football club by the name of URSL Vise. Now there are allegations that that agreement has fallen through. The deal, everything has gone sour down in Vise, and Craig Butler and the club has parted ways. There are also allegations that the Phoenix players that joined up with URSL Vise were abandoned basically, and to a certain extent left to fend for themselves. The allegations are that things were a bit rough for them over there, right? For those of you who don't know, 10 Phoenix players would have joined this club as well. Now, those allegations of abandonment and the players, things being rough for them over there from a living standpoint, I'm not going to touch on those allegations at this particular point in time. However, what I can do is I can give you some information on this deal, and I can also give you my opinion and perspective as to what could have occurred where this scenario is concerned. Piece together the information with my opinions, right? Ladies and gentlemen, it was always going to be difficult for Craig Butler to make this Vise deal work, and that's in my humble opinion when I look at the circumstances surrounding this deal, right? My research has indicated that Craig Butler initially acquired a 20% stake in URSL Vise for 400,000 euros. Now, his percentage stake in the club was supposed to increase over time when more payments were made. So overall, the deal was supposed to come up to 50% stake in URSL Vise for Craig Butler, and he was supposed to pay in total €1 million. So that deal would have valued URSL Vise at €2 million. So he was supposed to. So the first installment was 400,000, and there were supposed to be other installments after that, and the rest of the 30% would be given to Craig Butler, but initially he acquired 20%, right? Now, part of the deal, and this is where the problem really lies, ladies and gentlemen, part of the deal is that 10 Phoenix players were supposed to sign for URSL Vise. 10. Now, the allegations coming out of Vise is that Craig Butler was supposed to pay the salaries of these 10 Phoenix players that signed for Vise. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my understanding of it is because these players are non-nationals, they had to sign what is known as an extra community contract. An extra community contract, you have to pay the player at least 90,000 euros per year. Let me repeat that, 90,000 euros per year. Now, when I found out this bit of information in my research, my jaw dropped, because immediately I saw what the problem, more than likely what the problem was, ladies and gentlemen. This deal was unsustainable. A 50% stake of a struggling Belgian third-tier club could not make this deal with these 10 Phoenix players feasible and sustainable for Craig Butler. A 50% stake in a Belgian third-tier club who one outlet described as having more people, sometimes having more people on the pitch than in the stands. It was a small club in Belgium. Ladies and gentlemen, 90,000 euros per year for one player is not sustainable at the Belgian third tier level. It just isn't. Those are Belgian first and second tier contracts, ladies and gentlemen. Those are contracts that you give to either some Belgian first tier players. Obviously, Belgian first tier players at the higher end of the scale would be making much more than that. But there are players in the Belgian first tier that are on those sort of wages. Those are also contracts that you give to players on the higher end of the scale in the Belgian second tier, the type of players that you think can help you gain promotion to the Belgian first tier. To put it in even more perspective for you, ladies and gentlemen, Shamar Boza-Nicholson was earning, my research indicates that Shamar Boza-Nicholson, when he was in Belgium for Charleroi, was earning a little bit over 4,000 euros per week. Ladies and gentlemen, 90,000 euros per year equates to around 2,000 euros per week. So essentially, these, with the greatest of respect to them, no-name, unproven teenagers who are mostly unproven in senior men's football, coming straight out of high school, signing for a Belgian third-tier club, would have been earning half of what a €1 million signing in the Belgian first tier would be making in Shamar Boza-Nicholson. €1 million signing in Shamar Boza-Nicholson, who already scored a number of goals in another European top flight league before joining the Belgian Pro League. So those unproven players, straight out teenagers coming straight out of high school, would have been earning basically half of what Boza was earning. At the Belgian third tier level, for a struggling Belgian third tier club, to say that is unsustainable and not feasible would be putting it lightly, ladies and gentlemen, to be honest with you. As a matter of fact, if the allegations are true that Butler was supposed to pay these salaries, you can understand why Vise would not want this responsibility. This responsibility would more than likely have one end, one conclusion, and that is the destruction of URSL Vise. Vise would be crazy. It would be poor management on Vise's part to agree to such a deal in terms of for them to pay these salaries. Vise would certainly cannot be that stupid to take such a risk, a massive risk, on unproven talent at the Belgian third tier level. Remember, these players have not played at a level anywhere close to the Belgian third tier. These players, for the most part, with a few exceptions, played mostly in the Manning Cup and the Da Costa Cup high school football. The allegations coming out of Vise are also that Craig Butler was not honoring these contracts allegedly. These contracts with these 10 Phoenix players that he allegedly agreed that he would pay these contracts, that he would be the one paying these salaries. The allegations coming out of Vise is that he was not honoring these contracts. Those are the reports coming out of Vise from my research. Now, this part of it is my opinion and my perspective, right? If this is true that Craig Butler was not honoring these contracts, it would kind of be understandable as to why. When I saw these contracts initially, when I heard about these contracts rather, these extra community contracts, at least 90,000 euros per year, I'm saying to myself, what could convince Craig Butler to do a deal like this? This makes no financial sense. It like my people, I tell them, my jaw drop people, it made absolutely no sense to me. I'm trying to wrap my head around. Certainly Craig Butler can't be this naive or this stupid or, lacking, this amount of business savvy to be able to think that a deal like this made sense. I mean, Craig Butler have far more experience in football business than me. And even from a layman's perspective, my perspective, this absolutely made no sense to me. And as I received this information, I could start to pinpoint what the real issue was. So I'm saying to myself, why would Craig Butler do a deal like this? This is entirely my opinion. Allegedly, and again, these are the reports coming out of Vise, is that from day one he was not honoring these contracts. My opinion is that allegedly, I don't think Butler intended to honor these contracts. To be honest with you, that's my opinion. I'm not stating that as a fact. That is the opinion part of this video. Allegedly, I don't think Butler intended to honor these contracts. That's the only logical conclusion to arrive at why Butler would do something like this. Allegedly. Because when you think about it, it's the only logical conclusion to arrive at. It's the only thing that makes sense. In my humble opinion, I think because Butler has control over these players and he can get them to do what he wants them to do, allegedly, I am of the opinion, I think, that Butler did basically try to work with them players that felt, play along, so to speak, to his grand plan. But probably give them obviously give them a food for help them out, but not to honor the full extent of these extra community contracts. Ladies and gentlemen, one of these contracts in the Belgian third tier is a problem for a club, much less 10. That's the only logical conclusion I can think of. Ladies and gentlemen, Butler would be paying. By the way, remember there was also a coach involved in the deal as well too, that Butler would be allegedly paying the salary of as well. When you do the match, Butler would be paying almost, if not over, €1 million per year to these 10 players plus the coach. €1 million per year. That's crazy. There's no way a 50% stake in a struggling Belgian third tier club would make an agreement like that sustainable and feasible for Craig Butler. Absolutely no way. Plus, these players weren't getting much game time either. Now, again, continuing with my opinion. Allegedly, I think that URSL Vise found out, because these are the reports coming out of Vise, that what their information suggests is that allegedly Butler from day one was not honoring these contracts. My opinion is that Vise found out and it became a problem, and you can see why from a legal, financial, and just other perspectives. You can understand why Vise would have a serious problem with this and would want Craig Butler to honor these agreements. My research indicates that it seems as if Vise had an issue. This was an issue for Vise. There are other issues as well too, because the reports coming out of Vise also is that Craig Butler allegedly paid the initial €400,000, but the remaining €600,000 Vise is yet to see a dime of that. So, that was also an issue as well. But ladies and gentlemen, again, it was always going to be difficult for Craig Butler to make this deal work. It just does not make any sense. Those 10 extra community contracts were crazy. Not sustainable at the Belgian third tier level. By the way, URSL Vise is currently in serious problems because the allegations is that Butler bailed on them and has left them with a massive hole, and they don't have the resources to fill this hole in terms of salaries being paid, taxes and all of that sort of stuff for the second half of the season. So Vise needs, from what my reports indicate, is that Vise needs about €500,000 at least within the next about 14 days, or they will go bankrupt and basically be obliterated, go into oblivion. The club would be gone. They need to find an investor within like either 13 or 14 days, something like that. Also, my research rather also indicates that URSL Vise has taken Craig Butler to FIFA in an attempt to recover what they deem to be losses incurred on them from Craig Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, that's it on this video. Again, Craig Butler's URSL deal was bound to fail from the start. Very interesting. When Butler bought this football club or invested in this football club, I was one of those that was celebrating over the moon. I did a video on it. You know, it's kind of sad that it has come to this, but you know, I wish all parties involved all the best going forward. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Knock up the likes button, subscribe and share. Free and easy ways to support the Formula Sports channel. Take care, guys. Stay safe, and until next time.